Hello, good evening, and welcome back to the cavern, boxing fans. Apologies for not putting any boxing content out lately. I've just been, the past few days, just been busy. I've got a 25-mile sponsored hike to do next Saturday, so I've been doing training for that. So, anyway, I believe there's an interesting card coming up on, I think it's October the 12th. The Better Be Bivol Undisputed Light Heavyweight Championship fight in Saudi Arabia, part of the Riyadh season. And I've got a stacked card on there. There's quite a few interesting fights. I'll go over the ones that interest me. There's a couple I'm not really fussed about. But you've got Ben Whittaker versus Liam Cameron. So Liam Cameron gave Lyndon Arthur a tough night, so he's a tough guy, Liam Cameron, so he could give Ben Whittaker quite a few problems. Ben Whittaker, he's sort of flash and razzmatazz, but I don't think he's got a big punch in him, since he's gone up a wee bit in level of opponents, he's not getting people out of there, is he? So I don't see him getting Liam Cameron out of there. Will he win on points? Will Liam Cameron have a good night, and he could possibly cause an upset there. Like I say, Lyndon Arthur had a tough night with him, and a lot of people thought Liam Cameron beat him, so we'll wait and see. So who am I going to pick? I think I might be controversial, but I might go for Liam Cameron to cause an upset. Give Ben Whittaker a setback. A lot of people like that, because a lot of people don't like all Ben Whittaker showboating and that. Some of the traditional boxing fans not really interested in that. They want to see him fight. They don't want to see him messing about, do they? So yeah, so I'm going to lean towards Liam Cameron to cause an upset there. Wait and see, yeah, wait and see. And then we've got Jai Opetaia versus Jack Massey. I mean, Jai Opetaia, it's the last fight he was struggling later on in the fight, wasn't he? But he's probably up there. I would have had him up there in my top, probably my top 10 pound for pound. I think he's up there, and he's a guy for the future. Jack Massey's no mug. He gave Joe Parker enough trouble in a heavyweight bout for the distance, didn't he? So, but I think I've got to go with Jai Opetaia there. Jack Massey, it could be a distance fight. He might not stop Jack Massey, but I've probably got to lean towards Jai Opetaia there. I think he's quite an exciting fighter, so we'll go with him there. But be good on Jack Massey if he can beat Opetaia. That puts him right up there, doesn't it? I mean, if Jai Opetaia's the next big thing, and Jack Massey manages to beat him, you've really got to give him kudos for that. But wait and see what happens. I've got to favour Opetaia, so we'll see how that goes. Then we've got the Fabio Wardley Fraser Clark rematch, which that is an interesting fight, because their first encounter was a real barnstormer, wasn't it? Which was ended in a draw. But I actually thought Fraser Clark should. I think you could make a case for Fraser Clark winning it, but I don't think you can make a case for Fabio Wardley winning it. So he was probably lucky to get away with a draw there. I think I'm going to lean towards Fraser Clark. Points, I would say. Points. Fabio Wardley's a tough guy, isn't he? He's a good fighter. I think Fraser Clark's a better boxer. So yeah, I've got to go with Fraser Clark on that one. You've got Eubank Jr. versus Kamil Cesar Meta, Polish guy. I don't know much about him, but I'm guessing he's not a top end opponent for Eubank. Eubank's he's messed about too much. His career's stagnated, isn't it? It's all been stop, start. anytime you think, oh, he's got a wee bit of momentum now, he could maybe do something, stagnates again. It's no fault for, I might be wrong, but I think it's nearly a year. So I think that's, you've probably got to go with Eubank for that. Shakur Stevenson versus Joe Cordina. I mean, Joe Cordina lost his last fight, so how's he getting a world title shot? Don't understand that, but anyway, he's got the shot, isn't he? So we've got to look at it and think, what's he going to do? Shakur Stevenson's not a big puncher, so he's the champion. So I'll probably go with Stevenson on points here. I think that'll be a distance fight, so I've probably got to favour him on points. But you never know. Cordina's been in a lot of exciting fights, but a lot of them I feel he's just won. You know, he's just scraped through. But he got beat quite emphatically the last time by Anthony Cacace. So yeah, I've got to go with Stevenson. I think Stevenson on points. And then you've got the main event, Better Behave versus Bivol, which has been postponed when Better Behave had an injury. So all being well, it's going ahead. So both fantastic fighters. Bivol had a good win against Canelo, didn't he? So, but for me, Better Behave, he's getting on a bit. I think he's I don't know if he's 40 or he's 39. He's maybe nearly 40. So, but if you watch his, a bit like Usyk, if you watch their training regime, the discipline and everything's just exemplary. It's I think boxers all around the world should look at what they're doing, the dedication and commitment they're putting in their training, and then that's why they've got success, and they're able to carry on the success to a bit older than some other guys. So for me, after Better Behave, I mean, he's stopped everybody he's fought, hasn't he? I think he was dropped. He's maybe been dropped once or twice, but he's always won. He's always got up and won. He's quite a complete fighter, and I think his boxing skills are underrated. I think he's a better boxer than people give him credit for. He's a good box puncher, but for me, can Bivol take him a distance? I don't know, but for me, I've got to lean towards Better Behave. I think he's a fantastic fighter and big puncher. So, but then Canelo's a good puncher. He couldn't put a dent in Bivol, could he? So, but I don't think Canelo's as good a puncher as Better Behave, and so we'll wait and see. Exciting stuff. But I think I'm going to go with Better Behave late stoppage. That's my prediction. I'm no a fence sitter. I don't want splinters on my backside, so I've got to make a decision either way. So it's going to be Better Behave late stoppage, Stevenson on points, Eubank maybe points or late stoppage, Fabio Wardley versus Fraser Clark. I'm going Fraser Clark points. Jai Opataya points. Liam Cameron, I'm going to take him to beat Ben Whittaker. Maybe a late stoppage, but probably points. But Ben Whittaker's he's the golden boy, so maybe difficult to beat him in points. Could have been controversy on the scorecards in that fight. I think there possibly could be. But before that, we've got Joshua Dubois coming up, haven't we? That's a good fight. I think that's a cracking fight, and a lot of the big boxing media guys are picking Joshua, but I've got to pick Dubois. Not just to be controversial. I think Dubois has had a better. He's mixed in better opposition latterly. He's taken two guys' O's, isn't he? He's taken Jarrell Miller's O. He's taken who did he fight last? Having a memory fade moment. Signore Momento. Dubois, he fought Philippe Hrgovic, and he took his O as well, didn't he? So I think that's a better opposition than who Joshua's fought in his last two fights. I mean, he fought the MMA guy. What's his name again? Memory's no good tonight. Maybe needing a vodka, eh? I forget his name, but it was only a second fight, eh? He did what Fury should have done to him, so I think Dubois has mixed at a better level. And Otto Wallin, that's been a sparring partner, isn't it? I mean, folks say, oh, he gave Fury a hard fight, but that's 5 or 6 years ago. So, and even when he fought Hellenius, I mean, Hellenius, he had a bust-up nose around Joshua against Hellenius. I mean, Hellenius is a guy that Wilder went in and wiped out and inside a round, didn't he? So, yeah. Ngannou, that's the name that's come back to me. My memory's not completely faded. Francis Ngannou. Yeah, he ironed him out, didn't he? And but Dubois is a different kettle of fish. Dubois is a boxer. And he's a big puncher. And he ain't scared of Joshua, eh? He's got this, he seems to have this air of confidence about him. I know he got stopped by Usyk, but I think that fight will stand him in good stead. The experience gained in that fight. And he's young, Dubois, and he's only 25 or 26. I think he's 26 now. Joshua's 35, so you've got a 9-year age difference. And if you go way back to the Rumble in the Jungle, I think George Foreman was 24. Ali was 32. And Ali was deemed as being way too old to beat him, eh? So, but Ali beat George Foreman, so there's nothing to say Joshua can't beat Dubois. But for me, I think Dubois will stop him mid to late rounds, maybe 7 or 8 rounds. I think Dubois will do him. But he's got to watch not get caught with as many big punches as he got against Hrgovic, because Joshua's a better puncher than Hrgovic. So I'm going Dubois for that. And you've got Tyler Denny versus Hamza Shiraz on the undercard. You've got to go with Shiraz. I think he's a class act. He's definitely on the up. And you've got Anthony Kokachi versus Josh Warrington on that show as well on the 21st of September. But I will go with Anthony Kokachi, I think. I think Josh Warrington's had too many hard fights. He's done, he was meant to, I thought he might get the rematch with Lee Wood, but I think talks about that's kind of broken down, so. But I'll go Anthony Kokachi in that fight. Then you've got Liam Smith versus Josh Kelly. I will go with Josh Kelly. Probably on points, I think. Perhaps a late stoppage, but probably on points. Then you've got Joshua Buatsi versus Willie Hutchinson, the Scots lad. He's a good fighter. I think he's really come on leaps and bounds. So I'm going to pick Willie Hutchinson. I'm going to pick my fellow Scotsman. But I'm not biased in any way. As I've said umpteen times before, I don't really mind who wins as long as we get a good fair fight, a good fair result. Because I'm a boxing fan. I'm not a fanboy any fighters, but you've got to admire talent when you see it and enjoy the fights. And you've got Mark Chamberlain versus Josh Bagley. I will go with Mark Chamberlain for that. So that's the next 2 Riyadh season cards coming up. One at Wembly and one in Saudi. Wembly one, as I said, is the 21st of September. The Saudi one's the 12th of October. So we're getting good fights, eh? And I think it's all thanks to Turki Al Sheikh and the energy and effort and money that he's putting into sports. So we've got to admire that. And everybody was a bit sort of sceptical. I was as well when he first came on the scene. But no, we've got to go with that. He's got the big promoters working together, isn't he? So you wouldn't get any of these fights otherwise, would you? It'd be standoffs, people lowball offers, communication breakdowns. It would folk arguing all the time and social media. It would just be. We've had that too long, haven't we? So now at least we're getting good fights happening. So we've got to enjoy it as boxing fans. Because I'm sure I've heard Porky say when I've been on Porky's Corner, I've heard Russ talking about the analytics about young people watching boxing. They're more interested in MMA and other stuff. Majority of people who watch boxing are probably older generation like myself, maybe maybe 40 and over, on people my age and older watching boxing. There's not enough interest in the sport from younger people. So hopefully, with Turki Al Sheikh putting on all these good shows, alongside Brickdop, Frank Warren, Eddie Hills, Matchroom, Boxer involved now as well, Bob Arum, all these people they all seem to be involved in it. So I think it's good for the sport. Get everybody working together for the good of the sport, not for the good of themselves lining their pockets and protecting fighters. As Peter Fury says, who I really admire as a trainer, and he's a straight talking guy, he says people shouldn't be scared to get beat. You know, they're too busy protecting their record. It doesn't matter if you get beat, you can come back and have another go. As long as the best man wins on the day, you can always come back. It's not the end of the world getting a defeat, is it? So anyway, so that's that 2 cars looked at, and you're getting a wee bit longer video tonight, I've got a wee bit of time. So for a change. But anyway, if you like what we're talking about, don't forget to like and subscribe and ring the notification bell, and keep watching, keep tuning in, share with your pals, and when I get time I'll put more content out and there's more to talk about, and I've got a few things I want to talk about. So but at the end of the day, I'm not an expert, as I've said before. I'm just a guy in a shed, man with an opinion. Opinions are like backsides, everybody's got one. So I'm just sharing it with you guys if you're interested. I don't claim to know everything about boxing, but I've been watching it probably about 35 years, so, and I love it. I love it as a sport. I think it's the best sport in the world. So anyway, that's enough of me rambling on for tonight. Hope you're all having a good bank holiday weekend, and we'll be back with more content very soon. So hope you're all well out there, guys. Take care. All the best. Cheers. Good health.